Tyler tried to define social abjection as an ideological element of national power, with Bauman's illustration of wasted human and Chris Huber's description of disgust. She defined social abjection as the force and impact of adverse emotions related to a subject's particular vulnerability to abuse by power. Under this context, the production of social abjection becomes one of the governance measures of class society, which contributes to the generation and solidification of hierarchy with the intense emotional impact on people. Generally, Tyler intended to claim that the use of social abjection had become political by forming people's identity of disgust, as well as the subconscious mentality of exclusion, which would lead to the awareness of class. The emotional constitution of social abjection, meanwhile, performs as a psychological order. This video will focus on the representation of social abjection from a racial perspective. It will follow the mainstream theories of social abjection and engage a case study about the current situation of Uyghur, one of China's main minorities. To start with, the psychoanalytic description of abjection produced by Chris Huber equates to fascination and repulsion, which would lead to emotional exclusion and form a psychological border. Then, this abstracted definition of abjection easily blends into social life and becomes materialized by redefining different people for some political purposes. The abjection between different groups presents an exclusive definition of others, and then become divided into representations of people's self-identities such as citizenship, class, and race.
In the Jewish community that run America, run the government, run the world, own the banks, own the means of communication. They are my enemy.
Some extreme cases happened in the past, such as the Holocaust, have proven that the production of disgust and social abjection is effective in achieving political goals with its classificatory function. In fact, it is always used as a powerful weapon in social efforts to exclude certain groups and persons even at the moment. The case of Uyghur in China could provide a contemporary example of social abjection. In recent 10 years, after a sanguinary conflict happened in July 2008, a dozen of reports have exposed the repelled situation of Uyghur both in Xinjiang district and other provinces of China. The national television's propaganda about the conflict produced a religious, barbaric image of Uyghur in reality. Then, the social abjection of this group generated both in people's social life and measures of governance. For instance, in The Guardian's report, the Han nationality started to be on guard toward Uyghur naturally, as they were told by the news reporting and police to be cautious. On the other hand, the excessive rendering of religious fanaticism leads to people's fear and the following psychological exclusion. Even most of the Uyghurs' lives are just as common as Han nationality indeed. In this aspect, respect the different has become elude the different. Without the conjecture of the government's real purpose, the police actions and related propaganda both lead to racial nationwide abjection against the minority. As a result, the nationwide abjection makes it easy for the government to push on the collective political approval and reduces the obstruction towards its strict measures. Identity of citizenship. Nowadays, the Uyghur faces a serious situation including strict spatial control, cultural cleansing, and restriction of religious. To some extent, these measures also lead to the low identity of Uyghurs' citizenship. As Baker argued, citizenship is about inclusion and exclusion, and citizens who are local define themselves as insiders. Researchers of migration often use this definition to argue the exclusive attitude toward migration, but in some racial cases, it could also suggest some points. Although the Uyghur is one part of Chinese, their religious background, culture, and customs are quite different from the mainstream of Chinese. For the reason of social psychology, this is why the minor nationalities always become foreigners. Due to the propaganda strategy and police actions, the Uyghurs' difference becomes the ideological symbol of abjection which the majority, the insiders, should oppose. Meanwhile, the cultural cleansing, which includes Hanization, education and the restricted freedom of religion, even the widely reported re-education camps, intends to cause the Uyghur self-identity of abjection and contribute to the potential racial integration as the government wishes.
The camp looks like a school made of red bricks, a very vast area. We had guards around us all the time. And I would think, why are we here? Why don't we just die instead of facing such hardship?
The case of Xinjiang shows that the measure taken by the government, which intends to produce the social abjection against Uyghurs, has a dual character, both internal and external. The internal point means the construction of self-redefinition, strategies in different fields, all intend to renew the identity of Uyghurs' citizenship. The external point means the free control of the whole society, which could provide convenience to the government for its further control based on an emotional, national consensus of disgust. Thus, this case study proves the political definition of social abjection, which claims that the political social abjection is motivated by a political concern with listening to the demands of those made abject. Under the racial context, social abjection means the nationwide redefinition of ethnic minorities and the reconstruction of ethnic minorities' self-identity.